What's up guys, Kavit here, and today I'm back with another simple tutorial. And today I'm going to be showing you how you can create some really clean and simple portfolio render images, um, something like this. And also, I'm going to be showing how you can make some clay renders and other sort of things. It's mostly is going to be a lighting tutorial, if I'm being honest, and it's a really simple task. Anyone from beginner to advanced can follow this. And without further ado, let's just get into it. So this is our main model. As you can see, you might have seen this model. I modeled this I think last year or maybe this year. I don't remember. But this is a quite simple model. As you can see, I do not have textures and I don't know where that is, so just give me a moment to find it. Okay, so I do have textures, then why they are not showing up? Okay, uh yeah, so I did not had my base color plugin. Okay, yeah. So yeah, so this is what we are going to be rendering today. As you can see, I have been lazy and I did not model the back part of it, but it was just an exercise, so I'm okay with it. As you can see, uh, we have some really good textures here, and I'll show you what we are going to do. Just give me a second. So I had this rendered out yesterday, and we will be trying to replicate something like that. So so okay so yeah uh, so this is a basic ambient occlusion version, and this is what we are going to render today, something like this. So you can see how it has this small highlights and sort of thing, and we have also managed to create reflection on the glass, and it's looking pretty good. I won't say it's looking the best, but it's looking pretty good. Also, I'm going to show you how you can do a simple clear render, and also a wireframe. I'll show you that too. uh, so both of these techniques, uh, I'll give you the original links to where I've learned this. So many of you might who know Blender Bob might be aware of this technique. It's a pretty cool and easy technique to render out wireframes. So I'll be showing you how that to do it. Also, for this type of effects, you should be knowing how to use light linking. So many of you might not know that, so I'll be showing that too. So please try to watch the full tutorial, because it's going to be a really cool tutorial. Yeah. So without further ado, let's just start with it. I'll be in my wireframe here, and it can go a bit down, something like this. Okay. Oh, actually we do not need wireframe. Okay, so let's just create our plain background here, something like this. Also, my grid is too big, so I'll be scaling down my grid somewhere, something like this. So it's barely, and this area, something like this, not too much big. And we'll create a plane, but before that we need to get out of this collection, because this collection is specifically for this object. So let's just click on scene collection. So now you can see this thing is highlighted, and you can see some uh, gray area sort of surrounding this box. That means anything we will add to our mesh or our scene will be uh, in this collection and not this. If we had selected this and hit plane, it will go under this. Similarly, if we hit this and make a object, it will go under that. Okay, so this is how collections work. So keep in mind this, guys. Many of beginners makes this mistake, and I end up wasting a lot of time moving in and out of collections. So let's go here somewhere. Hold on a second. Yes. Okay, so after this, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to extrude this something like this, and then we are going to bevel it until it looks a lot smoother, something like this. And we do not need to worry about segments or anything else. You can also do like a plane, and you can extrude it something like this, and do something like this also. It's not a problem, but this looks more smoother and more cleaner. It gives a lot of control, so it's good to use that. Afterwards, what we are going to do is I'm going to get a camera inside my viewport, and I'm going to use a normal HD resolution, although I'm going to scale my resolution up to 200, so it becomes it renders out a 2K image. After that, I'm going to hit N key, and under view settings, under view, there's something called camera to view. So once you click that, you basically have now the whole camera control. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click on my main object and hit period key. So now my cam is now my object which I have selected is sort of like isolated to the selection, and it will only move kind of like across it. Similarly, if I choose a different object, you can see it. Let me show you. If I have this cube here, and if I try to you know try to set a camera with this, it's it's giving me a hard time. So if I select this and hit period key, it will sort of like um, isolate kind of thing, and it will make things a lot easier. So similarly, let's go in something like this, and now you can see we are trying to set it in the middle. And if you kind of like struggling with setting your objects, what you can do, you can click on camera and go in camera data. Under viewport display, there is something called composition guides, and these are all different type of guides that will sort of like help you to align your renders, or make it look more beautifully. You can use um, thirds, which I know a lot of photography guys might know, might be aware of this, are aware of it, I guess. And also, what I'm going to use is I'm going to use center here, so that I can just align my image in the middle, something like this. Looks pretty good, something like this. Also, 50 mm looks it looks a lot of flat. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit 24, and I'm going to use a pretty wide lens for the shot, something like this. It doesn't have to be in dead center, but it has to look like it's in center, something like this. And now we can go, and after your camera setup is done, always uncheck this so that it locks into the position, something like this. And now we can start our lighting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split this in half, and I'll just save this in my desktop. Where's my desktop? So let's call this test lighting, something like this. Let's go to render view, and now you can see we kind of like have a very general setup over here. and we are getting some light, and I know this is because of the world setting, so let's delete that also. I'm just going to leave this background right now for like where it is, and let's just start with the backlighting. What I can do is uh, so here's the tricky part. What I like to do is I sort of like to create my backlight first, so that I can understand how I can light it properly afterwards. So if that makes sense, let's just take a area light, something like this. As you can see, it's kind of like reflecting a lot of light right now. I hope my microphone isn't catching that sound. I'm going to scale it something like this, and it can be as big as you like, because uh, we only want to focus on this part. Okay, so right now I'm only focusing on this part, this and a bit of this, so only the outer edges. Okay, so we only need to care about this part, not this part, not this part, not this part. A tiny bit of light will be caught by this part also, so I'll show you how we can do that. Let's just go into our selection, and I can definitely hide this, and you can see we are already getting this. It's just a matter of adjusting a bit more. I can take it backwards, and as you can see it's pretty harsh, so what I can do is I can turn it down a bit, something like this. And also, if you want to make this more softer, what we can do is we can scale this up, and now it's becoming more cleaner, something like this. And now we can just take it out somewhere and rotate it, something like this. So now it's bringing the light over here also. Okay, as you can see. And now we can just increase the brightness, and now you can see we have this, we are getting our rim light as well here. Okay, so you might see that a lot of light is hitting these buttons as well. Well, this spread option here will help us to sort of eliminate light on these parts. So if you take this slider and try to bring it down, something like this, something like this, it has helped us, about 100 degrees has helped us to get rid of this unwanted light that we were getting here. Okay, so this is our main light, our backlight, we'll call this backlight. Okay, yeah. After this, what we are going to do, okay, so let me just clear this out. mm, yeah, so now let's just focus on the fill light or the main light, which will sort of like illuminate the main part of main device. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to just do like a straight on face light, something like this, and I'm going to scale it up a lot. Okay, something like this. Okay, and I'm going to rotate it bit, so that it kind of gives like a uh, something like a small sort of shadow on buttons. So now I'm looking for these buttons to provide to get some shadows, something like this. And what I can do is I can just scale this down, so that I get a beautiful sort of this thing in middle. So right now we are focusing on, oops, yeah, oh yeah, we are focusing on this part. Okay, so see how the areas which are kind of like elevated uh, are getting this light, and the areas which are like not elevated are getting this no, like aren't getting a lot of light. Also, this light is helping us to bring out this fingerprint stain, which is also really good, and it is giving us a slight shadow, so that also looks really good. But there is a lot of light here, and I would like to, let's just try to figure it out if I can dial it down a bit, something like this, or we can scale this up and then maybe add. So yeah, this also looks really good to me. Yeah, I think I will scale it down and increase the brightness. So let's do that, so that I get a more tight highlight on this area. And I can say it's pretty much done. Um Although my only problem is it's getting a lot of light here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a plane, something like this, and then rotate it about here. And what I can do is, okay, let's not do this, it won't help us. But I think we can definitely bring this spread down. Okay, that's not helping us either. So so yeah, those two things won't work. We can leave it as it is. And what I'm going to do next is I'm just going to bring in environment texture. And what I will suggest you to get like a interior uh, interior HDRI. And since we are kind of like rendering it, render or we, if try to imagine if like we were clinging a picture of this object, we will definitely shoot it inside. So I'm going to put both of this in my lights collection, so that it becomes easy to turn off or hide. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try to get only like some light and a lot of reflection in this. So about point 0.2 should work, something like this. And let's just try to adjust our HDRI so that it gets this. Let's try to get this window over here, so that we get a nice separation over here, something like that. And what we're going to do is I'm going to rotate this a lot. Okay, so there's this light over here. Yeah, this looks pretty good actually. Let's turn back our lights on. And what I can do is yeah, we can definitely dial our this light a bit low. I can go about half also as well. And yeah, this looks pretty good. Also, we do not need this background, so I'm going to take my background and push it somewhere here, and let's try to cover this something like this, and I'm going to just rotate it something like this, and yeah, let's take this bit up, scale this. Okay, so once this is done, let's just check our face orientations, which looks correct. And now okay, we need to scale it a bit more, something like this. Now what I can do is I can just create a backdrop, and I can push it down something like, let's try to get like a equal brightness on both of this thing, or we can actually go a bit darker, something like that. And now you can see that we have lost a lot of lights. Okay, so for that what we can do is I can, yeah, we are still getting these lights. Okay, now comes the best part of, okay, we do need one more light here. So remember how I said that we are going to get some sort of light reflection over here. It might look pretty difficult to do, but all we are going to do is we are going to create another simple area light over here, something like this, and we are going to do like a really low light for now, and I'm going to change this option from square to rectangle, and I'm just going to try to, you know, adjust it in the position I like to get here. And as you can see, it has a pretty good spread around here, so we are going to use our spread option, and as you can see, on 1 degree it's kind of like giving us a really good highlight. And I might also decrease this by a lot. This looks kind of right, and I think I might go a bit low. Yeah, this looks pretty good. I might do a simple slide here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to name this light as uh, glass light, I guess. Yes. So as you can see, I made it into a wrong collection, so let's get back into it. Let's call this fill light. Okay, so yeah, we have we have done with this lighting setup, although we do need one more light here just to kind of like separate this. Before that, I'm just going to disable transparency here for the background. Yeah, so yeah, so one thing we have not added is I want my I want a backdrop light that's kind of like uh, separates the background from the main image, and something like this. Let's just turn on off all of our lights, and let's just try to adjust it the best we can, something like, it doesn't has to be like a lot brighter. something like this should do, I guess. or or before or better than this, what we can do is we can actually use a point light and make this closer to the background so that it doesn't give this weird artifacts, something like this. And then bit like this, a little larger radius might help us. Sorry for my I've been having this sore throat. Something like this would look really good. But if we, okay, let's just rename this. This will be our backdrop light. So always please guys rename your stuff so that you won't get crazy and mix up all of your light setup. So as you can see, there are so many not so many, but there are a lot of lights, and our main image is kind of looking I don't want to say shitty, but not good. Okay, so how do we fix this? Well, the easiest way to fix this is something called light linking. A lot of you might know this, but a lot of beginners might not be aware of this. So light linking is a process of assigning a light to a particular object so that only a particular object will receive that light. Okay, so how you're going to do this? So you have to sort of like assign a object to a light, if that makes sense. So what I'm going to do is let's go one by one for these lights. Let's actually start from this fill light, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off all the lights. Okay, so as you can see, you might say like it's a pretty good light. It's kind of like evenly distributing everything around, but my main task here or my main goal here is this light should be only uh, hitting on this main object and not the rest of the object, which is our backdrop. So let's just go in this light, and under object properties, inside shading there is something called, let me just, yeah, if you guys are having problem, let me just uh, yeah, scale this up to 1, something like this. So inside this we have shading, we have something called light linking, and under this we have this collection sort of thing. So I'm going to hit new. Okay, so what's the next step? Okay, so we know that we only want to remove our plane. Okay, so this, let's rename our plane called backdrop, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring this backdrop into my collection here, or into my light linking setup here, and I'm going to tick off this option. Okay, so it's not, why it's not working? Okay, so it's not working because of this light. Yeah, so now you can see it's completely black. Okay, our background is it's there, but it's completely black. You can also see it's kind of receiving a lot of shadows here. Shadows are reflection, and you can check this if it's working or not. If you turn this back on, you can see it's getting the whole image light up. Okay, so moving on to our next light, the glass light. Let's just wait for the glass light, and let's just take a backlight, and now you can see backlight, and we'll do the same thing for our backlight. We'll just bring in our backdrop and deselect our backdrop. So as you can see, our model is getting this beautiful rim light, but our background is not. Okay, so after this, let's just enable our backdrop light. And you don't have to do you don't have to like uh, do a selection particularly here, because it's kind of like it's not hitting our main object as much. As you can see, the radius of this light is barely touching the object, so it's pretty good. We don't have to make any changes for this. And now just to make a simple kind of even lighting, we can just increase our world light to about zero point 0.1, so it gives a little bit of touch. And we can definitely make it more darker, something like this. Or what we can do is, since we have our main backdrop as red, we can go for something like a blue background, or something called cyan or turquoise, something sort of thing. Or we can just stay on black background. This looks more nice. Or even this weird blue looks pretty good. But let's just go with black background. Okay, so so far so good. I hope you guys are getting this. And so now remains our main backlight. So this will be a bit tricky. Okay, so inside this this glass light, sorry, we are going to hit new. And right now we are going to bring this whole collection, or the whole this thing, oops, into this glass light collection, which is pretty difficult to do, but yes. Okay, so I think I have to bring this one by one. No, so what I have to do is I'm going to hit this. And so this is, I hate this process of, okay, so what you have to do is you're going to shift select all of this and then control click on glass light. So we have this option clear up, and bring all of these objects uh, into your glass light linking collection. So now you can see we have everything over here, and we need our light only on this screen low poly. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to find my screen low poly, and I'm going to disable everything else instead of this screen low poly, something like this. And now as you can see, okay, that's weird. Okay, so this, okay, oh, okay, so it's not screen low poly, it's actually this thing which I have renamed weirdly. So that that but as you can see, we have successfully did that too as well. And if I close this, make it a full screen, or better yet, let's just go into viewport and make it like 120 with denoise. And open image, oh, not open image, I would like to do albedo and normal, yes. And wait for few seconds. Since I'm using a pretty old GPU, Nvidia 1660 Super, so it might take a time. but as you can see, we sort of like have this perfectly uh, lighted or perfectly light object, and it's ready for render. And also let me just render this really quickly, and let's just go in our render settings. I'm going to use 1024, something like this, so I do not want denoise here. Also noise threshold can go back to 0, or we can, yeah, we can use a noise threshold of 0.01. And let's just go into our passes, and I'll be using this denoising data, and let's just add a simple denoise node here. Denoise normal to normal and albedo to albedo. Then let's render this out, and hopefully everything was set up properly, and we'll be getting a really good render from this set. So as you can see, our render is done. I've saved it on my desktop, and as you can see, we have this really nice rim light going all the way and somewhere disappearing over here, which is okay. I have no problem with it, and it is kind of like separating. Our backlight is really nice. It's giving a really good effect here and here as well, and none of our lights are clashing. I do see some problems with it. My bump map is a bit high, so that's that is one thing to fix. Also, I'm getting this weird reflections from HDRI, so I might rotate a bit. But look at our glass light; it's just looking really nice. I think I could have moved it a bit slight here somewhere, so it would have, but that's not that's just moving. I hope you guys have understood this process of light linking. It's really easy, but it might look a bit difficult and uh, you know bit tedious, but once you have learned, uh, once you like kind of like mastered it, it's it's a really time saver, and it makes your renders look really amazing. The other thing I might change is like there's not a lot of space here, but since it's just a tutorial, I'm not worried about that as well. And what other things I want to tell you guys? Also, please guys, make a collection a proper collection for everything else. uh, as you can see, I have my light collection, the camera and backdrop. You can leave that, but if you have like multiple cameras, please do make a collection for that as well. Backdrop also not needed right now. um, Also, let me just show you how you can render clear renders something. Just go into our shader, not backdrop, this one. And what I'm going to do is, so this is what I was trying to do actually. Actually had done, was creating ambient occlusion render. So let's just forget that. So for clear renders, uh, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut my base. As you can see, there's this orange color already set up, so what I do is I kind of like try to get some sort of really good, or the best way to do is go full red and bring a bit green into it, something like this. And then we can definitely bring down saturation, something like this. So try to play with this rather than this, and that might give you a more better result. And also it's looking a bit hard, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring this 0.1, so it like allows sort of a little light to penetrate the mesh and give this a simple glowy effect. If you scale it a bit much, you might know this. Yeah, you can definitely see this over here. And if you bring it about 1, it looks perfect. Also I'm just going to turn all of this 1, since that works better for me, and it doesn't gives like a weird green blue tint. So this is basically I guess RGB values, red, green and blue. And I can definitely pull everything down, something like this. And yeah, we can go a bit more, something like 0.50. And sorry, and this is it guys, and I can render this as a clay image as well. Okay. And also two things I want to mention. Let's just go back to normal. There's this amazing course by Abraham Lev, uh, and he has basically I had followed his course for lighting and rendering. It's for Blender specific, but you can use like um, it for any softwares. So the link for that course will be in the description, so please go and check it out. It's a free course. It's about like 2 hours I guess. And also if you want this model, it's on BlenderGate, and I'll be providing affiliate link to that as well. If you don't know BlenderGate, it's a easiest solution to getting models for Blender. And I know that a lot of you guys are using it, but for the beginners, for the people who don't know, uh, you can just I don't have it right now because I just reset that. I just reset my PC. I just installed Blender, so I have like literally hard ops and nothing else on this. So affiliate link will for that will be in description. That's how you can how you can uh, support this channel, and hopefully I can bring out more more content or more tutorials and free assets for you guys in the future. Okay. So that's it for this tutorial guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.